pretty please, don't you ever feel that you're less than perfect? To me, pretty please, don't you ever feel that you're less than perfect to me? You're so mean when you talk about yourself. You were wrong. Change the voices in your head. Make them like you instead. So complicated. Look how we are made with, filled with so much hatred. It's such a tight game. It's enough I've done all I can think of. I chased down all of my demons. You see you do the same. Oh, pretty please, don't you ever feel that you're less than perfect? To me, pretty please, don't you ever feel that you're less than perfect? The whole world's scared and I swallowed the pride. The only thing I should be drinking all cold beer. So cool in line and we try so hard. It's a waste of my time. I'm looking for the critics, cause they're everywhere. They don't like my jeans, they don't get my hair. Stranger settles and we do it all the time. Why do we do that? Why do I do that? Why do I do that? Ooh, 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 ooh. Oh, pretty please, don't you ever feel that you're less than perfect to me? Oh, pretty please, don't you ever feel like you're less than perfect to me?
Give it up one more time for Black folks.
Welcome everyone. My name is Paula Napodi, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to our Sunday celebration service. If it's your first time here, or if you haven't had a chance to, I'm just going to do this. If you haven't had a chance to hear our musical guests this morning, as you can already tell, you are in for a treat today. So they are just amazing. So I was so happy to see them come up on the calendar, and I'm sure they'll be back. So yes, I do again want to welcome everyone that's here, but I also want to say hello to, I want to say hello to the folks who are joining us from home. We do have folks that join us consistently on Facebook, so a good morning to you. And for those of you that might be new on Facebook, welcome, and we are so glad you're here. All right, well, I do have just a couple announcements I want to hit on this morning. It's kind of our same announcements, but they are important. We are open at 50% capacity, so come on down if you feel so called. We are masking up, we are socially distancing, we are taking temps, and so please come down. We would love to see you next Sunday. We are also doing our Monday calls. That is at 10 a.m. So please contact Reverend Randy if you're interested in joining. It's just a great way to reconnect with the folks in the congregation, see some faces you might not have seen, and we would love to see you there. We have our metaphysical Bible study at 9:30 every Sunday morning, so join us for that if you're interested. John is fantastic. And then we also have our 6 p.m. prayer calls, so that is something too. I know I try to participate every Wednesday, and it's very powerful. And as we always say, when more than one gather, we have that strength of prayer. So please join us. We'd love to see you there. And last but not least, we are doing community yoga again. So come on down to the church Saturday mornings, 9 a.m., 10 a.m., and we always have a great crowd, and we would love to see you there as well. All right, so I think that's it for announcements. If you would please, we are going to continue our service with our 4 Unity Southeast statements. Please stand if you're able, and join me as we say these together. Okay, our affirmation. God in me is love. God in you is love. We are one as love. Our vision. We are a community of love that prays, serves, connects, celebrates, and lives as our truth. Our mission, to provide a safe community that discovers and reinforces truth teachings and the I am presence within. And our core values, which is what we are here to be: love, abundance, spiritually grounded, radically inclusive, and of service. Thank you very much. Please be seated and prepare for a time of meditation.
So I just invite you to relax in this moment right here, right now. Allowing the chair or the couch or whatever it is you're sitting on to support you in this right here, right now moment. As you embrace and prepare for a time of meditation, as you embrace and prepare for a time in the silence. As you move and breathe and understand that within you is everything you ever needed. Within you is everything good to get you through this human journey, to allow you to realize that your spiritual beingness is enough. You are enough. So breathing in, we simply know and we simply embrace the beauty and the love and the light that we are. And breathing out, we release any conflict or any concern or any chaos that gets in the way of that knowing. Breathing in, we simply relax and we know that we are in the presence of pure being. And breathing out, we simply let go. And we find peace and we be still. So I invite you just to relax more and more, because the more you relax, the better you feel, and the better you feel, the more you will relax. Allow yourself to go deeper and deeper and deeper into that spiritual consciousness, that spiritual knowing, that spiritual awesomeness that you are. In this moment, right here, right now, you have an opportunity to communicate with the most divine. You have an opportunity to simply be and bask in love, in light, in faith, in harmony, in comfort, in calm. So allow the music to take you deeper and deeper as you remember and you embrace who you are. As we sit in the silence. In the quiet of my heart, I listen for the voice of Spirit. Even during busy days, I may hear all kinds of things, all kinds of conversation, music, sounds from nature, traffic noise, or even that constant self-talk that bombards my head. Sometimes all that hearing numbs me to the intentional action of simply listening. So in this moment, in the silence, I listen. I become aware of the voice of Spirit that is comforting and guiding me home. As I settle into this tranquil environment and begin to relax my body and my mind, I create a welcoming space for listening to the assuring voice of Spirit within me. I breathe deeply and I rest in this space. I breathe deeply and I rest in this space. Blessed, rather, are those who hear the word of God and obey it. Blessed are those who hear the word of God and obey it. So I invite you to take one more cleansing breath, one more deep breath as you prepare to return right here, right now. And with the fluttering of the eyes, I invite you to join us here at Unity Southeast in Kansas City, bringing with you the goodness, the greatness, the love, the light that is you, that is me, that is God. Knowing that you are being called right here, right now, to this moment. And that every breath you take and every move you make, every breath you take and every move you make can be centered in and guided by that one power, that one presence that is God.
Some say don't worry about the past. Those things don't last. See, I don't think that's true, given what my people been through. You don't think that's true? Let me rap about a few. Y'all tell me what you think when I get through. Let's count them off, see? There's homicide, genocide, discrimination all across our nation. Politicians spreading lies. Look, even if I let that slide, there's still murder and rape and slavery. And they talk Confederate bravery? Please!
Every breath you take,
Woo!
every move you make, every bond you break, every step you take, I'll be watching you. Every single day,
Everyone.
every word you say,
Woo!
every game you play, every night you stay, I'll be watching you.
I'm not through. Look here. Now where you stand depends on where you sit. Don't y'all forget. We want equal justice. Shouldn't be this hard to get. Instead, you killing our babies, crushing our dreams. Some of my people never make it to their dreams.
Every move you make, every vow you break, every smile you fake, every claim you stake, I'll be watching you. Every move you make, every step you take, every breath you take, every
Everyone.
move you make, I'll be watching you.
Look here. Gerrymandering instilling our land, but you dissed that out of hand. Voter suppression lead to depression just so y'all can win an election? If this is the land of the free, what about me?
Oh, every breath you take, every move you make, every bond you break, every step you take, I'll be watching you.
We'll be watching you.
Did I not tell you? Did I not tell you? Chasing butterflies, perfect, every breath you take. For those who have been following along in the last few weeks, you know that we've been talking about the 12 powers, and we know you cannot leave spiritual home without it. Right? You guys remember that from the 70s and 80s? You used to watch that commercial, American Express, don't leave home without it. Here at Unity, we say the 12 powers, don't leave home or don't leave spiritual center without them. We have been going over the various 12 powers in Unity, and those 12 powers are faith, imagination, will, understanding, zeal, power, love, wisdom, order, elimination, strength, and life. Today we are going to go deeper into zeal, which is often termed as enthusiasm, because I don't know about you, but I don't walk around saying to people today, are you feeling really zealous today? You know, but I can feel enthused. And that reminds me of a story. There was this gentleman who went to a movie theater, you know, it was a couple weeks back, and it was kind of empty because of what is going on in the world today. But what he noticed is that this woman and her dog came in, and they sat just a few rows in front of him. And the movie started, and the dog sat up in the chair and kind of jiggled a little bit and looked at the screen, and you can tell that that dog was transfixed. He was into it. And so as the movie went on, when there was funny things, you could see the dog almost start to chuckle. And when there were those moments that were touching, you can see the dog begin to whine. And this man was completely amazed. He was in awe of what he was witnessing. So after the movie, he went to the woman and said, my goodness, I just had to stop you and ask. I was watching you in the theater, and I was watching your dog, and he was so enthusiastic about what he was watching and just so into it. And the woman says, I know, I had no idea he would be that enthusiastic because he hated the book. Yes, this story sounds impossible, but I'm here to tell you that with zeal, anything is possible. With zeal and enthusiasm, anything is possible. Zeal is the ability to be enthusiastic and passionate, as well as to inspire and motivate oneself. Zeal is the inward fire of the soul that urges us forward. Zeal is that which makes the wind move, and zeal is that which makes the thunder roll. Zeal is that power, is that urge, is that everything. It's that umph inside you that says, get up and get going. You have the power to do magnificent and beautiful things. Let's go. Zeal is the let's move onward. Zeal is that which allows an ant to pick up an item that is 10 times its weight and move it across point A to point B. Zeal is that same energy that will move those things that you decide need to be moved in you. So today I encourage you to step into, put on your seatbelt, and get ready for the ride, because zeal says we're moving forward. Amen? Charles Fillmore said these things about zeal. Zeal is the affirmative impulse of existence. It is the command to go forward. Zeal is the mighty force that incites all things to action. The eternal urge that's behind all things. The person without zeal is like an engine without steam. The person without zeal is like an electric motor without a current. The person without zeal is without the zest for living. So my question is, where are you today? Do you have a zest for living today? And it's okay if you don't. Because in your humanness, sometimes we get up and sometimes we're just having a difficult day. Sometimes we get up and it just doesn't seem like the things are adding up, but I'm here to tell you that there is a power greater than you within you, that if you simply tap into it and say, I am ready. Move me, shake me, guide me, push me forward. Because zeal is so powerful, but understand the fact that zeal is essential for making it through this human existence as this spiritual being. And so what I'm here to tell you is on those days that you cannot get up, on those days that it just feels difficult, on those days that the rain is coming down and the thunder is beginning to clatter, I want you to say, I know who I am. I know the power that is within me. I know the power that moves through me. And I know the power that moves as me. And that divine power, that divine principle, that divine essence contains divine zeal. I don't know about you, but I'm a wordsmith. I like to go look and see what words really mean. And so I was looking in the dictionary and in the Metaphysical Bible Dictionary about zeal, and there really wasn't a lot, but there was this thing, enthusiasm. And I thought, okay, well, if I can't find zeal, let me look up enthusiasm. And I don't know about you guys, but enthusiasm comes from the 17th century, and it is a word that is enthus or entheos. And so enthus or entheos means possessed by God, powered by God. Enthusiasm means I am powered by God. I am powered by the essential strength that is in me. I'm powered by the allness of His. I am powered by that which creates and is the creation of everything. I am the essence. I am the power. I am the beginning. I am the end. So as within, so as without. So as above, so as below. I am enthusiasm. You see, it's one thing to be enthusiastic, but that's a human quality. Enthusiasm is what you are, and that is your spiritual essence. So on the days that you can't get up, on the days that you can't move, I invite you to go within and muster up all the courage and remember that what is going on in this outside world has no reflection and will never change who you are on the inside. What is going on in this outside world will never change what's going on inside. All the water of the ocean will not sink a ship unless the ship allows the water in. So what are you letting in today? What is actually attempting to sink your ship that if you just decided, no, zeal moves me up, zeal moves me higher, so therefore the water simply is not getting in today? I encourage you to tap into that which you know, that which is the truth. And so when we talk about zeal, we have to acknowledge the fact that zeal is connected with the disciple, Simon the Zealot. And we have to realize what that means. You see, a zealot, they said, this is Simon of Canaanite, this is Simon the Zealot. What that means is there was a group of people that were so powerfully convicted with their beliefs that they lived together and they clamored together and they had so much zeal that nothing could move them, nothing could shake them. And then Simon met Jesus and everything changed. But that's not the first time everything changed. I was looking through the Bible and I was trying to find that word zeal or zealous, and I came across Galatians 1:13 and 14. For you have heard my previous way of life in Judaism, how intensely I persecuted the church of God and tried to destroy it. Now, these are words coming from Peter. I was advancing the Judaism belief beyond my own age and beyond my own people. You see, I was extremely zealous in the traditions of my father. You see, I was overwhelmingly zealous in the traditions of my fathers. What I liked there was that word was. I was overly zealous. Because in reading that passage, I realized that there's more than one zeal. There's a zeal on the human level, and there's a zeal on the spiritual level. And what I know is this, that Peter was overly zealous, and Paul was overly zealous. As you look in the Bible, all these disciples at some point talk about being overly zealous, but then they say, but God, but Jesus, but the Christ. You see, what I know is that on that walk, when Saul became blinded by the light, when he became caught up in the moment, when he went for 3 days and 3 nights without being able to see, I think it was the most beautiful thing, because they say he was unable to see, but I think he was able to see so much clearer then. You see, he didn't have to look at the outside world. All he had to do was be reminded of the inside one. And so he was overly zealous in the traditions of his people, but then he saw the light. He saw the lightning flash. He realized that this voice out of the darkness said, why are you persecuting me and my people? Because what he wanted to do was eliminate Jesus, eliminate the movement. And then he decided that, hey, there is something within me that says this has got to change. Even though everything on the outside world is telling me one thing, I got to trust that gut feeling, that wisdom that is within me. I got to tap into my zeal, and I got to understand the fact that this is bigger than me and my humanness. So that's what I'm going to ask you to say right now. This is bigger than me. It's bigger than my humanness. Can you say that with me? This is bigger than me, and it's bigger than my humanness. In spirit, I can move mountains. Can you say that with me? In spirit, I can move mountains. Because you have zeal, and you can do anything good. Anything good is possible with the power of zeal. But understand the fact that zeal is only one of the 12 powers, and it must be used in conjunction with the other 12 powers. Because here's my thing. Zeal without love and without wisdom is pointless. Let me say that again. Zeal without love and without wisdom is pointless. Zeal without love and without wisdom is how we get jihads. Zeal without love and zeal without wisdom is how we get the KKK. Zeal without love and without wisdom is how we get those people that are just so narcissistic that you just can't be in a room with them because they take up all the air. So I invite you today to step into your zeal, but use it in productive and loving and wise ways. Use the power of imagination. Use the power of faith. Use the power of elimination, because sometimes in order to go forward, we have to get rid of some things that are in the way. So I want you to know that just like this vision was had and this lightning was seen and this time in the darkness occurred, this vision in unity, we say that a vision is when we see God as substance and we see God as source. We understand that vision is a spiritual activity that cannot occur unless the power of imagination, the power of faith, the power of will, and the power of understanding come together beautifully. A vision cannot be seen unless the power of imagination and the power of wisdom and the power of faith and the power of will come together seamlessly. So are you tapping into your 12 powers today, or are you sitting here for the first time saying, what are those 12 powers? I want to know more. I'm here to tell you that we have the most beautiful library downstairs named after Sally Taylor. It's our Sally Taylor Library, and in that library I walked in this morning, and there are over 21 books on the 12 powers. And so if you're not sure or unsure, I invite you to go downstairs and grab one of those books. It can be the original Charles Fillmore, 12 Powers. It can be the Paul Hasselbeck, Point of Power. It can be Linda Martello-Witzig's Divine Audacity. But I'm here to tell you, regardless of where you are on your spiritual journey, if you are walking without our 12 powers and without our 5 principles, I'm here to tell you life gets so much better. So I invite you to go down to the library and check out one of those books. And when I say check out, I mean take them. Because here's my thing. I hate the fact that so much knowledge is sitting on a shelf when it could be sitting in your being. So I'm going to ask you to go downstairs if you would like to and find a book on the 12 powers and take it with you and keep it as long as you need. And if you know someone else that needs it before it needs to come back, pass it along, because I'm more worried about the instructions and the understanding getting out there than that book coming back here. That book is pointless unless we use it, and these 12 powers are pointless unless we use them. So I encourage you to know that zeal has a magnetic potential. Zeal has a magnetic potential and quality to it. Zeal is the ability to electrify our lives. Zeal is the inner drive and the inner passion which propels us on our life's journey. One of the most famous quotes attributed to the co-founder of Unity, Charles Fillmore. I always say he was the co-opter of Unity, because Myrtle really is the one that discovered Unity, and Myrtle really is the founder of Unity. Charles just wrote her coattails. I'm here to tell you that, but he did have one thing to say that I think really blew me away. He was 94 years old, and someone asked him a question, tell me about zeal. And he says, I fairly sizzle with zeal and enthusiasm as I spring forth with a mighty faith to do the things that ought to be done by me. I fairly sizzle with zeal and enthusiasm. Imagine being 94 years old and fairly sizzling with zeal and enthusiasm. What kind of life, what kind of path, what kind of understanding of your spiritual principles must you have to be able to sizzle with zeal at 94? Because I'm telling you, I'm a little over halfway there, and there are some mornings that I don't sizzle with anything. I'd like to. And I know that I can if I simply tap into these 12 powers, this power of zeal. And so I want to be sure that before you leave here today, you understand the fact that you have all of these powers within you. Can you say that with me? I have all these powers within me. Say that with me. I have all these powers within me. You know, just like that American Express card that you saw, I want you to know that you are pre-approved, you are pre-qualified, you are pre-activated, you are ready, the card is in your pocket. All you have to do right now is go out and spend it because it's in your pocket or in your wallet and you don't use it. What good was it to begin with? And the beautiful thing is you get to use it without interest and use it without payment. What would you do? What would you buy? What would you accomplish if you could do it without interest and do it without ever having payment? So are you tapping into your power of zeal and life and elimination and faith and strength? Because if you are not, you are just walking around with a card in your pocket, but not a change to make. So I just invite you to close your eyes if it's comfortable and allow the power of zeal to be awakened in you now. In, through, and as the Christ, the power of zeal is awakened in me. In, through, and as the Christ, the power of zeal is awakened in me. We are one energy, one source, one presence, one power. So I give thanks to all the souls who gathered here today, online and in person. I give thanks to the prayers of the divine energies, these powers that enliven every aspect of our lives. I give thanks for these physical bodies and these physical souls and these minds and these places. I give thanks to the places that we work and the places that we live and the places that we respond from. I give thanks for the cities that we live in, the states that we live in, and the countries that we live in. We know that these divine energies are not just our bodies, but creation itself. I allow the power of zeal to be awakened in me. I am divine zeal. I am divine zeal. And today, I stand in my passion. Today, I stand in my knowing. Today, I move forward so that anything good is already mine. I allow the power of zeal to be awakened in me. It's not that you never had it. You've always had it. You just haven't woken it up yet. So today, I awaken the power of zeal within me. Can you say that with me? Today, I awaken the power of zeal within me. Say it again. Today, I awaken the power of zeal within me. Say it with authority and with dominion. Today, the power of zeal. So take that and just let it sink in. Take that and know the truth within it. I think it's interesting when we locate the power of zeal. The power of zeal is located right in the back of our neck where it's called the medulla oblongata. What I think is interesting is it sits right here between the mind and the heart. And earlier I said wisdom and love, it's got to work that way. So I'm here to tell you when you use the power of zeal, make sure you are using your mind, but also make sure that you are using your heart. Make sure you're using that presence, that power, whatever name you give it, God, Allah, Bula, Ba'a'ula, energy, spirit, love, life. For some, it has no name. I don't care what you call it or what you don't call it. What I want to know is that presence, that power is you. It moves in you, it moves as you, it moves through you. Let me say that again. It moves in you, it moves as you, it moves through you. You are an inlet and outlet of God. You are an inlet and outlet of good. And that inlet and outlet is important because it is not two separate things. It's the same of one continuum. The inlet is the outlet, and the outlet is the inlet. I had the pleasure of running into a lady at Tuesday morning, and we were having a conversation, and she must have been 85 years old, and she was stocking the shelves. And I said, oh my goodness, how are you doing today? Oh, I'm doing good, I'm blessed. And I said, that is wonderful to hear. And she said, yeah, I'm just so glad I found this job. 85, and she's stocking shelves at Tuesday morning. And I said, you're grateful? Why don't you take a break? You put in your time. And she says, no, you don't understand. And I knew that knowledge was going to be imparted in that moment. As tears welled up in her eyes and said, I lost my husband about a year ago. And I couldn't get out of bed. I lost my husband about a year ago, and I couldn't find purpose. So I needed an outlet so that love could flow back into me. I needed an outlet so that love could flow back into me, because an outlet is also an inlet. And so that outlet was this job at Tuesday morning, and I bless and thank whoever it was that made the decision to put this woman on the floor. Because I'm here to tell you, I walked into Tuesday morning for a home good, and I was welcomed back home. So think about that for a moment. I needed an outlet so that love could flow back into me. That's what Zeal does. Zeal gives you an outlet so that love can float and flow back into you. So I don't know if today was a difficult day or today was an easy day for you, but I'm here to tell you that we have both. And it's not good or bad. See, that's the thing that we do in our humanness. We want to label things as I'm having a bad day, I'm having a good day. I want you to know you're having a day, and that's it. You don't have to label it, because what do we know in unity? Thoughts and mind produce after their kind. So I'm here to tell you, don't label it as bad or good. Label it as it is, because this is the one thing I know. No weapon formed against you will prosper. This is the one thing I know, that the rod and staff of God, the power within these 12 powers, the principles within these 5 principles always walk alongside you and are always waiting and willing to guide you and move you forward. And by labeling it, it is like a man walking through a forest and getting shot in the back by an arrow and pulling an arrow out of his own quill and stabbing himself in the same place. And that's what we do oftentimes. Sometimes we punish ourselves because of our pain. Sometimes we add to the conflict because of the conflict that's going on inside of us. I'm here to tell you that you no longer have to give power to the arrow. You no longer have to give power to the puncture. You no longer have to give power to the wound, because there is something greater than you that you should be giving power to each and every minute of each and every day. And when you do that, and when you allow for that, you have stepped into the power of zeal. You have stepped into the power of love. You have stepped into the power of imagination. You have stepped into the power of wisdom. You have stepped into the power of will. You have stepped into the power of understanding, because none of these powers are on an island alone. In order to activate one, you automatically activate the rest. So what do you need today? What do you need today? What do I need today? I came in for sound check and I heard, pretty, pretty please, don't you ever believe that you're less than perfect. And it hit me, because this morning, I'm going to be honest with you, I have those moments where I don't feel perfect. This morning, I had to tap into my power of zeal and say, Randy, get up. I even bribed myself. I said, if you can get up now and get in the shower and get ready in the next 20 minutes, you can have a chocolate eclair from Price Chopper. And I had to bribe myself to do it. Honestly, I did. And then I got the Price Chopper and I said, you know what? I'm just not there yet. I need a Red Bull as well. So I put the Red Bull and chocolate eclair in my basket, and I'm going through Price Chopper, and I'm chasing this butterfly, and I realized this butterfly did not need to be caught. So I put the eclair back, and I put the Red Bull back. And I realized that I didn't need something outside of myself. I needed to tap into the power, the Red Bull, that thing that gives me wings within. And I was able to do that. And I felt really good knowing that I wasn't letting the water on the outside sink my ship. So I am just so grateful that each and every one of you came today. I'm hoping that you have a better understanding of what zeal is, but more importantly, I'm hoping that you walk out of here knowing that it is at your disposal. It is ready. It is waiting. Are you? It is ready. It is waiting. Are you? What will you do with zeal today? What will you do with this card that's in your pocket, the 12 Powers card that's already activated, already approved, and you're already qualified for? What will you spend your time, your love, your talent on today? Because if you're not spending your time, your talent, and your treasure on something good, it is being wasted. Because you don't get time back. So every minute you spend wallowing about what was, or worried about what will be, you're missing the what is right here, right now. And what is that you are perfect. And every breath that you take and every move that you make is being guided and moved and responded by that presence, that power that is within you. Go out and chase butterflies today. Go out and chase your own personal butterflies today. But it's never, ever been your goal to catch them. The journey, I promise you, is more than the trap. The journey is more than the net. The journey is more than the destination. And I believe in our humanness, we can only touch the garment. But I promise you at some point you'll be able to put it on. And you'll be able to stand in front of a mirror and say, this me, this spirit that is me, this God that moves as me is perfect. God bless each and every one of you. I am so blessed that you chose to be here today, whether online or in person. I hope you keep coming back. And if you don't, I hope that you take the knowledge and the wisdom that you learned here today and you spread it outside this world, because church has never been about these four walls. So when I say come back, I don't mean come back to me. I mean come back home, whatever home is for you, wherever home is for you. I do like seeing your faces, though. So stop in every once in a while. We started service today saying something magical will happen. And my challenge to you is, if you haven't felt the magic, maybe you are the one that's supposed to make it. So if you came here today and you didn't feel the magic, maybe it's because you are the one that's supposed to make it. So go out and make magic in someone else's life, or better yet, make magic in your own. I love you. I bless you. I appreciate you. And I behold the Christ in each and every one of you. It is that time in our service where we welcome those people who may be here for their first time. And don't worry, I'm not going to make you stand. I'm not going to make you sing. I just want to acknowledge that you're here, and I want you to know that I see you. I want you to know that you are blessed beyond belief. I want you to know that if something I said here today feels like home, know that this can be your spiritual home. Know that you are here by divine appointment. Know that nothing and no one brought you here today. Spirit guided you here today. And hear these words, and if you'll repeat them after me. Conjure up someone in this service that you want to speak to personally, or conjure up somebody who's outside of here, because we know in spirit there is no time and there is no space, and we are all collectively gathered right here, right now. Conjure up that face of someone living or someone past. Someone who lives in Kansas City or someone that lives far away. See that face and say these words with me. We love you. We bless you. We appreciate you. And we behold the Christ in you. It is that time in our service that we receive our spiritual gifts. And this is the time that you tap into your time, your talent, or your treasure, or the combination of all three. I invite you just to go within and say, what is mine to give today? Is it that you want to join our music ministry and come up and give of your voice, or give of your music, or give of your talent? Is it that you want to join our pantry and community garden team so that you can come in and make sure that those in and around Unity Southeast have bread on the table and food to eat and love in their hearts? And I am so in awe and so amazed when I get here on Sunday morning and there are people already sitting on the steps waiting for the good that we are about to give. I'm so in awe that I was sitting at a restaurant the other day, and a lady came over and said, "Hello, how are you?" And she said, "I saw you come in, and I was going to buy your meal." And I thought, well, why is that true? I know all the good things you guys are doing at Unity Southeast. She said, "But I wasn't able to buy your meal, so I'd like to do something else." And I said, "What was that?" She's the owner of Enjoy Pure Food at 105th and Row. She said, "What I'd like to do is I'd like to start giving $75 a week from Enjoy to your community kitchen and your community pantry so that I can make sure that I am helping you feed more families." And I was in awe because a lot of times people will say, "Let me show you how I want to help you," and then you never hear about them again. And she went into the back and she came back out and she said, "Okay, I got my computer. Show me where I got to log on." And she said, "Because I want to do it now because I get busy." So if you go to Enjoy Pure Food, tell them thank you, thank you, thank you, and know that it is mind, body, and spirit, and they are mind, body, and spirit. And I'm so in awe of the gift that she gave us, and I will always pass up a free meal if it means I can feed others. But maybe that is your gift and your talent today. Maybe you can help us find new and unique ways to feed the homeless. Starting next week in November, our coat drive begins again. Last year, we gave over 1,000 coats away from this location. Last year, we gave 600 care packages that contained gloves, socks, scarves, hat, and hand warmers. I want to be able to do that again, but what I know is true is this virus, this pandemic has really taken a toll on the things that I would love to do, but I know that I am sourced by an abundant source. I know that I have everything I need. I know sometimes just because I know I have everything I need doesn't mean I don't have to find a way to get it out of your pockets. So I'm here to tell you that if you want to help with our ministry, if you want to help with that coat drive, go through your closet and find things that you're no longer wearing anymore. If you've got a daughter that's 8 and you have a coat that's size 6, please bring it in. If you've got pants that no longer fit you because you've slimmed up, or because of the fact that you've got the coronavirus 15, bring them in. If you've got coats you're not using, know that they can be put in use. The other night I was laying in my bed. It was 2 o'clock in the morning, and the rain and the thunder was falling, and it was loud and it was noisy, and I realized I left my window open, and that's why it was amplified within my room. And I got up and I walked over and I shut the window and I began to cry. Because I know there are people in our community that don't have the luxury of a house and don't have a luxury of a window. I know that rain and that sleet was cold. And I know that cardboard boxes just don't cut it. So I'm going to implore you, as you're out and about this week, if you see a sign that says Dollar Store or Dollar Tree, spend the $1 and get some gloves. Spend the $1 and get a stocking cap. Spend the $1 and buy some hand warmers. If you've got 3 to spend, I encourage you to spend all 3. If you've got 30 to spend, I encourage you to spend all 30. But let's see those who have been ignored for way too long. Let's provide for those who are just needing a warm place to be. Can we do that? So we know that we are sourced by the divine, right? We are abundant beyond belief. We have more than we'll ever need. Do we all agree with that? So I invite you just to close your eyes and say these words with me. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. Thank you, God. And the prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever we are, God is. I am divine. Wherever I am, God is. I am divine. Wherever I am, God is. I am divine. So if you're asking yourself right now when you're driving home or when you see something on the road or when you're having a conversation, where is God in it all? Know that God is in you. When you ask, why is God not doing something? Ask, why am I not doing something? You have within you the power to move mountains. You have within you the zeal to make anything good possible. So if you're finding things in this world that you don't determine as good, I invite you to use your zeal and change it. We committed? Say, I'm committed. Say, I'm committed. I'm committed. I'll change my life. I'll change the lives of those around me. I change the life of this church. I change the life of this community. I change everything because the power of change is me. God bless you. If there's one thing you need to know before you leave here today, know that you are the light of God, and this little light within you is not so little. You have just determined it to be that way. So I invite you to let this little light become a great big light. Make it as bright as the sun, and let the little light within you shine. Sing with me if you know the words, and if you don't, just pretend like you do. Look at somebody else and nod your head or stomp your feet, and don't clap if you're not on beat. That messes everything up.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine.
Power, come on.
Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine.
Like you mean it.
Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Do you believe it? Do you believe that you have the power to let every light shine? Do you know that there's not many lights, there's only one light, and so when you dim your light, you dim the light for all of us? Do you know that when you increase your light, you increase the light of the world? Go out and be the light. Go out and be the love. And before you leave here today, see someone, hear someone, acknowledge someone. With this virus and this pandemic, maybe it's not shaking a hand, maybe it's not getting a hug, maybe it's simply a nod. Maybe it's simply an I love you. Maybe it's a simply I've been praying for you. Maybe it's a I need today. And that's often the hardest thing to do, is to say I need today. So if you're the ones that need, just put your hands like this and we'll know that we need to send you whatever it is that you think you're missing, but know that you have it all. It's just time to awaken it. God bless you. Safe journeys, and I hope to see you soon.